A snowy night in Norway, as cold as Ethan Miller's heart. I wrapped my coat tightly around me, standing less than 10 meters away from the couple embracing and watching the aurora. The man is my husband of 3 years, Ethan Miller. The woman in his arms is Chloe Davis. The white moonlight he has hidden in his heart for many years. Ethan, look, the aurora is so beautiful, just like we promised, right? Chloe''s voice was coquettish, filled with satisfaction, a churning sensation in my stomach. So it's not that he's not free, he's just not free for me. The snowy night in Norway was as cold as Ethan Miller's heart. I wrapped my coat tightly around myself, standing less than 10 meters away from the couple embracing and watching the aurora. The man is my husband of 3 years, Ethan Miller. The woman in his arms is Chloe Davis. The white moonlight he has hidden in his heart for many years. Ethan, look, the aurora is so beautiful, just like we promised? Chloe's voice was filled with satisfaction. My stomach churned. So, he wasn't busy. He was just too busy to spend time with me. 3 days ago, Ethan used the excuse of a temporary project again to cancel our long-planned aurora trip. This is the 3rd time. Disappointment washed over me like a tide. I didn't reply to him and immediately booked the earliest flight to Norway. I wanted to see with my own eyes what this project was that made him break his promises to me again and again. Now I see it. More dazzling than the northern lights is the tenderness in his eyes when he looks at Chloe, a tenderness he never showed me. I took out my phone and opened the video call with trembling fingers. I want to see how he's going to explain this to me. The phone screen lit up, and the ringtone seemed particularly abrupt in the silent snow. Chloe, in Ethan's arms, looked up at him like a frightened deer. I clearly saw Ethan take out his phone, his brow slightly furrowed, and then, he turned off the screen, without the slightest hesitation. At that moment, a chill ran from the soles of my feet to the top of my head. I can even imagine Chloe nestling in his arms with a victor's air, softly asking, "Who is it? Did they disturb us?" And Ethan would probably say casually, "It's nothing, just a spam call." My heart is completely cold. I put away my phone and turned to leave this snowy place that witnessed betrayal. Behind me, the aurora was still unpredictable, breathtakingly beautiful, but it could no longer catch my eye. Back at the hotel, a WhatsApp message came through. "Was in a multinational meeting just now and missed your call. What's up?" And there was a concerned expression after that. "Oh, a meeting? A meeting where you hug your white moonlight and watch the aurora?" I stared at the line, feeling utterly ironic. They're too lazy to even bother making up a decent excuse. I turned off my phone and threw it into the suitcase. Sleepless night. The next morning, I boarded the plane back. The plane entered the stratosphere, and I turned on my phone, and the signal returned. Several messages flooded in, one of which was a birthday greeting automatically sent by the system. I suddenly realized that today is my 28th birthday, a birthday that should have been celebrated under the northern lights in Norway. My eyes started to feel hot for no reason. What exactly have I been holding on to for the past 3 years? It's Ethan. I returned to my apartment in the city center, opened the door, and the living room light was on. Ethan was sitting on the sofa, seemingly waiting for me. He saw me, got up, and walked over, carrying a delicate gift bag in his hand. "You're back? I brought you a gift." He handed me the bag, his tone tinged with a hint of appeasement. "There was a partner in Norway, a temporary business trip, so I picked it out for you while I was there." I looked down and saw that the logo on the bag was from a Norwegian luxury brand. I sneered even more in my heart. Lies come out as soon as he opens his mouth, without even a draft. I didn't take the gift. I looked up at him, my eyes calm and unwavering. "Really? What a coincidence. I just got back from Norway too." The smile on Ethan's face froze. A trace of panic flashed in his eyes. "You went to Norway? When?" "While you were at your meeting," I said, each word clear and distinct. "Still in the snow." I saw the rare aurora. I paused, my gaze falling on his neck. It was empty there. "Oh, right. I also saw Chloe Davis. She's wearing a red necklace. The same brand and same series as the one you gave me, right?" Ethan's face instantly turned ugly. He opened his mouth, as if wanting to explain something. "Ava, let me explain. She and I, that was in the past." "The past?" I felt like I had heard the biggest joke in the world. "Does the past require you to abandon your wife and accompany her to Norway to see the northern lights? Does the past require you to give her the same necklace?" "Ethan Miller, do you think I'm a fool?" He was rendered speechless by my questions, and then became angry out of humiliation. "Ava, can you not be so sensitive? It was just a coincidence that we met and watched the aurora together. Do you have to make such a big deal out of everything? I'm done with her a long time ago. Is it over? I sneered. It's over. She called you saying she was afraid of thunder, so you abandoned me in the middle of the night to go find her? It's over. And you guys will be hugging each other in Norway watching the aurora? Ethan, is your /over/ a new definition written in the dictionary? His tone softened, and he tried to take my hand. Ava, I admit it's my fault this time. I didn't handle it well. I promise, I will definitely keep a distance from her in the future. Okay? Don't be angry. More promises. Just like countless times in the past. Empty and cheap. I'm tired of hearing it. I shook off his hand and walked straight to the bedroom. No need. I'm going to Paris tomorrow to schedule an artist's time, and I won't be back for a few days. I opened the closet and took out the suitcase I had prepared long ago. Ethan was stunned, seemingly not expecting this reaction from me. He watched me start packing and finally realized something was wrong. He rushed over and held down my suitcase. Ava, what do you mean? Are you leaving again? His voice carried a hint of almost imperceptible panic. Work, I said concisely, continuing to put things into the box. Does work require you to leave right now, just because of this? He tried to salvage the situation with a gentle tone. Ava, don't make a scene, okay? I know I disappointed you this time. Aurora, I will definitely go with you next time. Let /s replan. No need. I zipped up my suitcase and looked up at him. Ethan, aren't you tired? I'm tired. My calmness seemed to make him more uneasy than hysteria. He looked at me with a complicated expression, as if he had remembered something. I remembered when we first met. It was at a chaotic party where I was being harassed by some drunk people, and he suddenly appeared and helped me out. He fought fiercely, but his eyes were bright. Later, he pursued me very diligently. He said, Ava, I may be a bastard in front of others, but in front of you, I will definitely be good. After the marriage, he indeed had a period of being good, and I, indeed as he wished, played the role of a gentle and obedient wife. I restrained my sharpness and gave up promotion opportunities, all to better take care of his daily life. I thought my forbearance and dedication could be exchanged for his cherishing. Now it seems, it was just my wishful thinking. Just then, his phone rang. It is late at night. He glanced at the caller ID, his brow furrowing instinctively, but he still answered. Chloe's delicate voice came from the other end of the phone, and you could vaguely hear words like thunder and scared. Ethan's tone instantly softened. Don't be afraid, I'll be right there. He hung up the phone, grabbed his coat, and prepared to leave. He didn't even look at me, as if I were just an insignificant background. Ethan, I called out to him. He paused, turned back to look at me, a hint of impatience in his eyes. It's the middle of the night, and she's a girl and scared. I'll go check on her and be right back. Another dismissive and perfunctory response. I looked at him and asked, word by word, what if tonight I said I was afraid of thunder? He was stunned for a moment, then said perfunctorily, don't be silly, you're not as timid as she is. After speaking, he opened the door and walked out. The door slammed shut, isolating the cold night outside, and also isolating my last bit of hope. You can set up paid features here. I stood there, for a long, long time, until the sky outside the window turned a faint grayish white. 4 a.m, I dragged my suitcase, leaving the place I once thought was home without the slightest hesitation. I didn't notify anyone, including Ethan Miller. Airport VIP lounge. I unexpectedly ran into the popular artist Liam Vance. He's an artist signed to my studio, and this trip to Paris is also for his shooting schedule. Liam seemed surprised to see me dragging my luggage alone. Ava, so early? Ethan didn't send you off? His casual question pricked my heart like a needle. I tugged at the corners of my mouth and forced a smile. He's busy. Liam glanced at me thoughtfully, didn't ask any more questions, and just helped me put my luggage away. The phone rang before the plane took off. As soon as the call was connected, I heard his voice suppressing his anger. Ava, where did you go? Why aren't you at home? He probably went back and found that I was gone, and then remembered to call me. Airport. My voice was calm. Airport? What are you going to the airport for? His voice suddenly rose, full of possessiveness. Didn't I say I was going to work in Paris? Who allowed you to go? Did I let you leave? Ava, get back here right now. His furious voice came through the receiver. Vaguely, I seemed to hear Chloe's voice from the other end of the phone, with provocation and triumph. Ethan, don't be angry. Maybe sister is just having a tantrum, she'll be back in a little while. Fanning the flames, putting on a good show. I suddenly feel very bored. Arguing and questioning have lost their meaning. Ethan, I'm boarding. After saying that, I hung up the phone directly and turned on airplane mode. Goodbye, Ethan Miller. Goodbye to my ridiculous 3-year marriage. Arrived in Paris. I just landed and turned on my phone, and Ethan called right away. Immediately following was a barrage of WhatsApp messages from him. The content was nothing more than accusations and commands. Ava, you've really grown up, haven't you? You dare hang up on me? Are you with that pretty boy named Vance? A man and a woman alone in Paris? I'm telling you, don't you dare pull any tricks on me. Get your ass back here right now. Looking at these double standards to the extreme, I just feel ridiculous. He can be intimate with his dream girl in Norway, but my normal business trip with an artist is pulling tricks? I directly replied to him with the words he used to me before, in a meeting, do not disturb. Then, I blocked him. Not long after, I received a text message from an unknown number. Ava, you better think carefully about the consequences of defying me. Threatening me? I sneered, deleted the message, and couldn't be bothered to reply. The work in Paris is going well. Liam is a dedicated artist and very cooperative. During breaks and filming, he would proactively ask me to rehearse lines. After a shoot, he used the lines from the script to look at me with burning eyes. If possible, I hope the ending in the play can be reenacted in reality. In the play, the male lead finally won the heart of his beloved. My heart fluttered, but I immediately shifted my gaze away warily. Liam, act well. It's Ethan. I hesitated for a moment, but answered it anyway. I don't want to fall into another complex emotional vortex after just getting out of one quagmire, especially with the artists from my own studio. Unexpectedly, the video of this scene was taken and uploaded to the internet. The title is quite ambiguous. Liam Vance suspected of turning a real romance, sparking with his beautiful agent. The video quickly sparked heated discussion. Liam's fans and the general public are in a heated argument. I looked at the online opinions with unusual calmness. A crisis can sometimes be an opportunity. I let the team ride the wave, not deliberately clarifying, but secretly guiding and hyping up the rumored couple between Liam and me. This can both increase Liam's popularity and disgust Ethan, who is far away in the United States. A double win. As expected, Ethan quickly saw these videos and news reports. When he couldn't get through on his phone, he used countless numbers to bombard me. I didn't answer any of them. Frustrated and exasperated, he started making veiled accusations on social media. Between the lines, it's all accusations against me and insults against Liam. Chloe Davis would naturally not let this opportunity pass. She left a comment under Ethan's post. Some people are just ungrateful, abandoning pearls to pick up fish eyes. A subtly passive-aggressive remark, implying that I am the one who doesn't know what's good for me. Below are a bunch of her followers, shaming me with prohibited. I watched all of this, my heart completely unmoved, until Ethan sent me an ultimatum through his assistant's phone. Ava, I'll ask you one last time. Are you coming back? I hung up directly. If you still want to maintain this marriage, immediately clarify the rumors and then get back here. I looked at the message and laughed. What makes him think I would still want to maintain this marriage? I directly replied with 2 words, divorce. Then, block again. I thought this was the most intense conflict. Unexpectedly, Ethan's madness far exceeded my imagination. 2 days later, I was in a hotel room meeting with Liam's team. The door was kicked open roughly. The world is quiet now. Ethan Miller stood at the door with a ferocious look, his eyes bloodshot, like a wild beast out of control. Behind him were 2 bodyguards in black. Ava, he hissed my name. His eyes scanned the room, finally landing on Liam. It's Ethan. You dare touch my woman? He roared and charged straight at Liam, throwing a punch. Liam was caught off guard and staggered back a few steps, blood immediately appearing at the corner of his mouth. I was stunned, and after reacting, I immediately rushed forward and stood in front of Liam. Ethan Miller, what the hell are you doing? Ethan looked at me protecting Liam, and the anger in his eyes grew even stronger. Am I crazy? Ava, tell me, have you two been hooking up for a long time? You want to divorce me for him? Shut up. I stopped him sharply. Ethan, look at the way you are acting, running all the way to Paris to hit someone. Do you think this is still your Miller Corp, where you can do whatever you want? I pointed at him, my voice trembling with anger. Liam Vance is an artist in my studio. You injured him, delayed the filming process, and you will be fully responsible for the losses caused, breach of contract fees, lost work expenses, and emotional distress damages, a total of $5 million US, not a penny less. I will have my lawyer contact you. Ethan probably didn't expect me to be calculating money with him, and he was stunned for a moment. Immediately, he burst into laughter as if he had heard a joke. Money? Ava, you're talking money with me? Tell me, did you sleep with him or not? He stared at me intently, his eyes paranoid and crazy. Bang! The crisp sound of a slap echoed in the room. I used all my strength to slap him. Ethan Miller, you disgust me. I looked at his face, which had been hit to the side, and said, word by word, I'm determined to get a divorce. Even if you don't agree, I have 10,000 ways to ruin your reputation. His expression shifted from anger to a hint of fear. Ava, how dare you hit me? He looked like he was meeting me for the first time. This is just the beginning. I took my phone out of my bag and opened a video file. Ethan Miller, do you think everything you've done is a secret? I turned my phone screen towards him. In the video, under the northern lights in Norway, he and Chloe were embracing tightly. Chloe's shy face, his tender and doting eyes. Even the red necklace around Chloe's neck was clearly visible. In the picture, they whispered and kissed her forehead. Every moment silently mocked his lies. Ethan's face turned pale instantly. His body swayed, as if all his strength had been drained away. This is fake. He tried to deny, his voice dry. Fake? I approached him step by step. Dare you look me in the eye and say that you weren't with her in Norway? Dare you say you didn't embrace her under the aurora? Dare you say the necklace you bought her isn't the same style as mine? I pointed at him, each question like a knife, stabbing hard into his disguise. He was speechless, cold sweat dripping from his forehead. The arrogance and rage from just now vanished instantly. Only embarrassment and helplessness remained. Ava, you don't need to say anything. I interrupted him. The facts are laid out before you. What else can you possibly argue? You betrayed our marriage, deceived me, and now you've come here to attack my people? Ethan Miller, you have completely crossed my line. I took a document from the assistant's hand and threw it in front of him. The divorce agreement. I've already signed it. You sign it, divide the property according to the agreement, and from then on, we go our separate ways. I'll have a lawyer discuss the $5 million US compensation with you separately. Ethan looked down at the documents on the floor, as if he saw something terrifying. He suddenly bent down and picked up the agreement, trembling. No. He suddenly raised his head, a hint of despair in his eyes. I won't sign. He tore the thin agreement into pieces with force. Shreds of paper fluttered to the ground like snowflakes. I won't get a divorce. Ava, you can't divorce me. He rushed over and tried to grab my arm. I quickly stepped back, avoiding him. Too late. My voice was icy. From the moment you chose to watch the aurora borealis with her in Norway, we were over. Tearing it up won't help. The law will enforce it. You've been warned. I turned around, not looking at him again. I didn't stay in Paris for long. After dealing with Liam's affairs, making sure he received proper treatment, and having the lawyer start following up on compensation matters, I immediately booked a ticket back to China. I need my own space. A space without Ethan, without Chloe, without all the upsetting things. I rented a quiet little apartment and started living alone. Life suddenly became simple. Work, exercise, and occasional gatherings with friends. No endless waiting, no heart-stopping guessing, no pain of betrayal, unprecedented ease. However, some people don't seem to want to let me be so peaceful. Chloe Davis. She started posting frequently on social media, always hanging around with Ethan, eating together today, shopping together tomorrow. The accompanying pictures are always showing off their love. Of course, that red necklace always appears in the photos unintentionally. Ethan covered his face and looked at me in disbelief. It's like a silent show-off and provocation. I ignored it. I directly blocked her updates. Unexpectedly, she actually found my private account and sent me a private message. I sneered. Sister, I heard you're back in the country? Are you used to living alone? Ethan's stomach hasn't been feeling well lately, so I make him porridge every day, and he loves it. Oh, by the way, many friends said the necklace he gave me last time looks beautiful. Between the lines, there is both smugness and probing. I looked at this information and just found it funny. Jumping jack. I replied to her. Oh, really? That's good. However, Ethan's stomach problem is a chronic one. When I took care of him before, I often cooked porridge for him. As for the necklace, There are many imitations like this in the market. Be careful not to buy a fake. After all, some things are not for everyone to possess. I retorted without mercy. She probably didn't expect me to respond like this, and instantly broke down. Soon, she sent me a photo. In the photo, Ethan was naked from the waist up, lying in bed asleep. Even though it was just a profile, I recognized him at a glance. Next to him was Chloe's arm, draped over him. Caption / Sister, don't say I didn't give you a chance. Ethan is with me now. Do you want to come see him? I looked at the photo, but my heart didn't stir at all. Disgusting, really, but anger? It's long gone. Their filth can no longer hurt me. I didn't reply to her. I just took a screenshot and saved it. Then, I contacted my lawyer again. I had the lawyer draft a new divorce agreement. The division of property would still follow the previous plan, but a clause was added that Ethan must pay Liam Vance $5 million US in compensation. I printed out the agreement, signed it, and then mailed it to Ethan. A few days later, I received a call from Ethan. He was no longer furious. His tone was low, even with a hint of exhaustion and humility. Ava, I received the agreement. Can we talk? I was wrong. Ava, he sounded distressed. Chloe and I, it really is a thing of the past. That day in Norway was just an accident. I promise, I will never see her again. Let's start over, okay? With this man who was just in another woman's bed and sent me bed photos as a demonstration of his power? I only feel irony. Ethan, do you think there's any possibility of us starting over? My voice was frighteningly calm. Do you think I suddenly don't care about everything about you anymore for no reason? He was silent for a moment, as if he had guessed something. Ava, are you still hiding something from me? His tone carried a hint of unease. I laughed. Yes, I took a document out of my bag. It was Chloe Davis's pregnancy test report. I obtained this report through some channels. The date was shortly after I returned from Norway. It clearly read, pregnant, 7 weeks. I said into the phone, word by word, Ethan Miller, congratulations. You're going to be a father soon. The child is Chloe Davis's. There was a long silence on the other end of the phone. I could even hear his heavy breathing. Then, there was a loud crash. It sounded like a phone falling on the ground. Ava. His voice was filled with unbelievable brokenness. I said, congratulations, Ethan. I repeated, your dream girl is pregnant with your child. Now, you can be together legitimately. Sign the divorce agreement as soon as possible. This time, he completely broke down. I heard his suppressed sobs and the sound of things being smashed coming from the other end of the phone. All the excuses, all the lies, all the attempts to salvage the situation, collapsed in the face of this fact. He could no longer deceive himself. Finally, he signed the agreement, haggard, decadent, with deep-set eyes. At the entrance of the Civil Affairs Bureau, he looked at me, his eyes filled with regret. Ava, I'm sorry, I really regret it. Is there any chance for us? He tried to reach out and pull me. I dodged to the side, looking at the face that once moved me, now feeling only strangeness and disgust. Ethan Miller, who do you think you are? I laughed mockingly. Keep your cheap regrets to yourself. What you've lost is something you'll never get back. I didn't look at him again and turned to walk into the Civil Affairs Bureau. The moment I got the divorce certificate, I felt like a huge weight had been lifted off my shoulders. Freedom, new life. However, some karmic debts don't seem to be completely severed with the divorce. A few days later, I had just moved into my new home when the doorbell rang. I opened the door and saw a woman with a big belly, Chloe Davis. She had a winner's glow on her face. Sister Ava, long time no see. Her tone was clearly provocative. I heard you got divorced? Congratulations. She walked into my house as if it were her own, looking around my new apartment. This place seems much smaller than the apartment Ethan gave you, but it doesn't matter. Ethan will take care of me and the baby in the future. She deliberately touched her belly, her face full of triumph. Oh, right. Ethan, he's been so clingy lately, saying he only feels at ease when I'm around. Looking at her face, I just felt pathetic for her. She thinks she can tie Ethan down with a child. She thinks I still care. I calmly watched her, walked to the kitchen, and poured myself a cup of coffee. Chloe, are you sure the child is Ethan's? I asked casually. Chloe's face changed instantly. What do you mean? She raised her voice, a trace of panic flashing in her eyes. I walked up to her with my coffee, my eyes sharp. It doesn't mean anything. It's just that a few days ago, I ran into Ethan at the club. He was drunk and throwing up everywhere. I gave him a ride back to his hotel. You know what? When he's drunk, it seems like he can't get it up. I paused deliberately, watching her face turn increasingly ugly. And he kept calling out another woman's name. Not me, and not you either. Chloe's face turned ashen instantly. She probably didn't expect me to say something like that. You're talking nonsense. Ethan loves me, she screamed. Love? I laughed and, without hesitation, splashed the coffee in my hand on her face. Hot coffee dripped down her cheek, soaking her clothes. Wake up, Chloe. You think he loves you? He only loves himself. As for the child in your womb, I gave her stomach a meaningful look. It's best to find out the truth, lest someone unknowingly raise another man's child. Start over? Chloe was caught off guard by the coffee spill and utterly devastated by my words. She clutched her stomach and let out a piercing scream. Ah, my stomach. How dare you curse my child? She pointed at me, her eyes full of venom. Ava, you bitch. I won't let you go. I looked at her pathetic state, and my heart felt nothing. Not let me go? Take care of yourself and the baby in your womb first. Don't end up not even knowing who the father is after the baby is born. I opened the door. Please leave. You are not welcome here. After driving Chloe away, I closed the door. I wiped the coffee stains that had splashed on my hands. Life seemed to finally be back on track. I devoted all my energy to work. The studio has signed several promising new talents. I took them to run announcements, discuss resources, and develop development plans. I found that devoting myself to my career is far more fulfilling than revolving around a man. Once, I took a newcomer to a dinner party. At the dinner party, several investors got drunk and started touching the newcomers inappropriately. I immediately stood up and stood in front of the newcomer. Gentlemen, please show some self-respect. My tone was firm and I didn't back down at all. The atmosphere froze instantly. Someone began to say sarcastically, Sister Ava, you're really protecting the new guy? Is there some special relationship? I smiled coldly. Special relationship? Of course, there is. What did you say? They are my people. Anyone who dares to touch them is going against me. Ava, I am a very protective person. I scanned them with my eyes, exuding an undeniable aura of power. In the end, those people sheepishly withdrew their hands. I took the new recruit and left the dinner party without looking back. In the elevator, the new recruit said to me with red eyes, Sister Ava, thank you. I patted her on the shoulder. Work hard and prove yourself with your strength. This circle is complicated, but it's not without clean spots. Follow me. I won't let you be wronged. My career is thriving. Liam Vance's photo shoot in Paris was a great success, and his popularity soared after returning home. Although my rumored CP with him wasn't confirmed, it brought a huge amount of buzz. The other newcomers in the studio are also developing smoothly. I became a well-known golden agent in the industry. One evening, I finished discussing a collaboration at a club and was getting ready to leave. I had just reached the door when I heard a burst of fierce arguing. The sound seemed to be coming from inside a private room. A shrill female voice cried out, Ethan, you can't do this to me. You promised me. Another male voice said impatiently, I told you. The child is not mine. Stop bothering me. Then there was a thud, followed by a woman's scream. Ah, my stomach. I'm bleeding. Ethan, call an ambulance quickly. My steps faltered. That female voice sounded a lot like Chloe Davis. As for the male voice, although it carried anger, it vaguely sounded like it wasn't Ethan Miller. I stood at the door, listening to the chaotic sounds inside. No compassion, no curiosity, just a kind of indifferent detachment. That's the life they chose. Chaos, quarrels, betrayal, pain, and I have completely detached myself from it. I didn't stop, didn't look back. I walked straight out of the clubhouse door. The night was as dark as ink, but the road ahead was bright. I walked towards my car, towards my future, a future that belongs to me, independent and wonderful. She thought she had one.